We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for the following excerpt reading. Hey, you guys, so says the leader talking. I figured out what book I'm going to read from next. It's going to be this one. It's called Return to Doloria. It's one of my prized novels, and I hope you enjoyed the excerpt readings. Let's begin. Here's one. This is an excerpt where Marissa Winchester, also called Astral, is going to be visited by the Oracle of Doloria. In this story, we learn why Heatheria was sent away and why Heatheria was sent where she was. So, let's begin. Astral the fox slept soundly beside the bed in Heatheria's laboratory, dreaming of her daughter. She had taken this form almost 13 years ago, and she wanted to be ready for her daughter's birthday party, which she heard King Adamant say he would plan. Marissa, a voice had suddenly murmured in her head. Astral awoke with a start. No one had ever called her by her real name, not even her familiar, Myrna. Ever since Marissa Winchester gave up Heatheria to fulfill a prophecy foretold to her by the Oracle of Doloria, she had taken on a new form to hide her identity, the form of an astral fox. Also, she had decided to take on a new name that best suited her persona, Astral. Who's there? Astral wanted to know. Your daughter needs her mother, Marissa, the voice went on. Then Astral realized what was happening. It's a prophecy, she realized, which means there's only one person calling me. As Astral watched, a portal opened near the pedestal where Heatheria's Ruby of Doloria rested. Then an elderly man wearing a white robe and cowl similar to Luanne's invisibility cloak stepped through. Oracle, Astral said reverently, bowing low. Marissa Winchester, the Oracle of Doloria regarded her. I hoped you would still remember me. And after nearly 13 years, you have lived in loneliness without your daughter. Now I'm Heatheria's familiar, Astral Marissa told him. And I have news. I had a dream about the ultimate evil. Actually, now that I think about it, Heatheria must have had the dream. I was just along for the ride. What was it about? The Oracle asked. Well, it's unclear to me, Astral said. But Heatheria and I are walking through the Temple of Doloria. She finds a magic jewel encased in a bubble of energy and reaches out to it. Next thing I know, she's screaming for help and pleading for me to save her. A magic jewel, the Oracle repeated, in a bubble of energy? Yes, Astral confirmed. Do you know what it means? The Oracle sighed. Marissa, there are many legends about that jewel and all of them bad. Its powers depend on its destined possessor. Destined possessor? Astral repeated. Do you know what's going on? What is it about the magic jewel I just told you about? The jewel is evil, or the Oracle began to explain. It has the power to corrupt anyone with a jealous heart. That jewel rejected Heatheria and tried to drain her power, because it needs energy from the chosen three of Doloria to fulfill its goal, to cover the world in eternal darkness. What is this jewel? Astral asked. The Oracle sighed again. I was hoping this day would never come. But I must tell you now what has happened. That jewel is the ultimate evil that I prophesied. It's the onyx of darkness. So as you know, that is the ultimate evil that Heatheria had to vanquish before she could move on with her life. If you're looking for more information about this book, just Just follow the links in the description. It'll take you right where you need to go. Let's continue. This is an excerpt that I'm extremely proud of. In this one, Heatheria finally tells King Adamant who she is and where she comes from. And also that magic exists in the world. Are you sure I should tell him? Heatheria relayed to Luanne as they stood in the throne room where King Adamant presently was, and he was talking with a few of his friends. The only way he'll let you go, Luanne returned. Besides, if he doesn't know who you really are, he won't forgive himself if something happens to us. You're right, Heatheria relayed. Then she cleared her throat. Father, she prompted, I need to talk to you. In a minute, Heather, Adamant said, and eyed his guests again. So anyway, I was thinking, this can't wait, Father. Heatheria suddenly blurted, would you excuse me for a moment? Luanne heard him murmur, and then he rose from his throne. Heather, I'm surprised at you, Adamant said in a low voice when they were all safely out of earshot. You know, when I have guests, you shouldn't be disturbing me for anything. Now, what do you want? These people are very important to me, and I don't want to keep them waiting. If you insist, Heatheria said simply. Then she drew her wand from her belt and chanted a spell. With the magic of this one day, bring to me a hot fudge sundae. At the last word in the spell, a small whirlwind of sparkles appeared in Heatheria's free hand, and when it dissipated, she held a glass bowl with 3 scoops of ice cream topped with butterscotch, hot fudge, whipped cream, and a cherry. Adamant jumped back in surprise. How did you do that? He demanded. Well, remember when I told you that I was into magical legends? Heatheria said sheepishly. Adamant nodded. Heatheria hesitated before explaining. Well, the fact is, it's because I am a magical legend, so to speak. Or at least I'm part of one. I did feel something special about you. And I couldn't pinpoint what it was, Adamant realized. But who are you? What are you? Heatheria sighed. I'm Heatheria Winchester. My mother is Marissa Winchester, most powerful of all the wizards of Doloria. Wizards of Doloria? Adamant breathed. I heard the legend of their secret order, but what does it have to do with you? It's no legend. They're real, Heatheria said. And Marissa Winchester left me with Prince Orm and his father King Goldmire almost 13 years ago. But I changed my life when you agreed to adopt me. Hammond leaned against the door of his throne room. I don't believe it, he murmured. For one whole year I had a wizard of Doloria for a daughter, and I didn't even know. But what about my daughter? Does she know about you? Heatheria sighed again. She's my apprentice. Adamant leaped off the door as if it were on fire. She's what? He cried. Luanne, is this true? Has she been teaching you magic? And in answer, pop, Luanne vanished in the blink of an eye, and pop, reappeared in another blink behind her father, who jumped back yet again when she saw her behind him. Cool, isn't it? Luanne smiled, her eyes twinkling. How did you do that? Adamant demanded. It's called blinking, Luanne replied. Any magical being can learn it, even magical novices. Adamant stared. What's going on? Why are you telling me all this? Because I just discovered my greatest adventure, Heatheria answered. It turns out I'm one of triplets separated at birth. I need to go to Doloria and find my brothers. Your brothers? Adam echoed incredulously. How come I wasn't told about this, these brothers of yours? Because I didn't know about them until now. Heatheria held up the parchment with her family tree diagram. Take a look down here, under the names Marissa Winchester and Joan Robertson. Adam had squinted at the writing. Nathaniel Winchester, he read aloud. Heatheria Winchester. And Remington Winchester. He stared at Heatheria. Why didn't you know about them until now? My mother kept this from me as well, Heatheria replied. And now we need to find Nathaniel and Remington, because only all 5 of us stand in the way of the ultimate evil, Luanne added. The ultimate evil? Adam repeated. All 5 of you? Wait a minute! What is going on here? Perhaps I can explain, said a voice behind them, and all eyes fell on Marissa Winchester, still in her astral fox form. Hello, Your Majesty, she said, and bowed low to him. Adam's eyes widened. Heatheria, Luanne, he murmured, pointing at Marissa. That fox is talking! Then you should talk back, Heatheria smiled. What? Adam asked with a confused look. Don't be frightened, Your Majesty, Marissa told him with a wink. My bark is worse than my bite. Adam had just stared wordlessly. Say something! Luanne encouraged him. What do you say to a fox? Adam wanted to know. Anything you want, Heatheria told him. Hesitantly, Adam had bowed to Marissa. Welcome to Melania, Marissa Winchester. Is that your name, Marissa Winchester? One and the same, Marissa confirmed. Adam had knelt until he was looking into Marissa's blue eyes. Do you think you could, shed some light on this puzzlement? He asked her. I'm a little fuzzy on the whole thing. All right, Marissa said, but it's kind of long. I'm not going anywhere, Adam replied. So, as you can see, Marissa Winchester has revealed her true identity to Luanne's father. And now she's about to explain what happened between her and the ultimate evil long ago. Let's continue. Ah, excellent. What I'm about to read to you is what happens when they first get to Doloria, and where they're going to do to be where they're staying in Doloria while they're searching for Heatheria's brothers. Hope you enjoy. Last stop, Amarillo Pier, 12-year-old Heatheria Winchester heard from her cabin on board the Lucky Duck. All ashores going ashore. Heatheria blinked her eyes furiously to adjust to the early morning sun. What time is that? She wondered to herself. She checked the small clock on her nightstand and saw that the hands were facing north and south. 6 o'clock in the morning! Heatheria realized. She couldn't believe how much time they had lost traveling by boat. She and Princess Luanne, her sister and apprentice, had decided to take a red-eye to Doloria in hopes that they would be able to find Nathaniel and Remington Winchester, Heatheria's brothers, and the remainder of the Council of Five. Heatheria leaped out of her bed and rushed to the neighboring bed where Luanne and her Astroflock's mother, Marissa Winchester, still slept soundly, and gently nudged them both. "They won't wake up," Heatheria whispered. Then as Luanne began to stir, she nudged her mother again. "Mother," she whispered. "Come on, Daddy, just 10 more minutes," Marissa murmured in her sleep. "I'll get up, I promise." Heatheria rolled her eyes and shook her head. Ever since Astral had revealed her true identity as Marissa Winchester, it was harder for Heatheria to keep up the facade of Astral being her familiar. "Mother, you don't have 10 more minutes," Heatheria said with a grin. "The ship's docked. We're in Doloria." At the mention of that, Marissa shot up from her spot on Luanne's bed. "We're in Doloria," she repeated. "Yep," Heatheria replied. "Rise and shine." Luanne stretched and yawned as she changed out of her nightgown into a sky-blue sundress. "I'll rise, but I refuse to shine." Heatheria smiled at her. "Come on, the porters are unloading our luggage, and there's a coach waiting to take us to Doloria Palace." "Doloria Palace?" Luanne repeated. "I pulled a few dream strings," Marissa told her. "The palace has agreed to keep some guest rooms open for us. It's the least they owe the most respected and powerful wizard of Doloria. We'll all be treated like royalty for the 3 days we'll be here," Heatheria told Luanne. "Doloria Palace is just a few miles away from the Doloria Fairgrounds, and it's in walking distance from all the sites in Amarillo. How about Doloria Social Services?" Luanne reminded her. "Do you think maybe we need an appointment?" "Maybe, maybe not. But we'll need to get settled in first and regain our bearings after we check in." "Right." "Heatheria Winchester!" the porter called suddenly from outside. Is the Heatheria Winchester still on board? We have unloaded your trunk." "Looks like we're getting ready for our adventure," Luanne had realized. "And I'm not missing this for the world." And with that, they exited the cabin and climbed the steps to the deck and gangway, where the porter awaited them. So, Heatheria and Luanne and Heatheria's mother are about to begin their adventure in Doloria. Will they find Heatheria's brothers? Only time will tell. Let's continue. This excerpt shows the scene that shows part of a scene in Doloria Social Services. Here, Luanne and Heatheria meet Remington Winchester, and they get his help in trying to find Nathaniel. Hope you enjoy. Doloria Social Services was bustling about, with several workers rushing this way and that, others typing on teletype machines, and even children working alongside adults when Heatheria and Luanne entered the small office building. Since Marissa, still an astral fox, was considered a pet, they had to leave her in a pet area just outside the building. "Wow," Luanne murmured. "This place looks smaller from the outside. How are we going to find connections to Nathaniel and Remington?" "According to Mother, the social worker who introduced Nathaniel to Lauren Worthington is named Endora Agnes," Heatheria replied. "So if we find her, she may be able to help." "Exactly," Heatheria said with a sudden sigh. "But finding Remington will be infinitely harder, since we don't know who took him in. And let's start looking." And with that, Luanne and Heatheria started asking workers about information on Endora Agnes. One worker directed the girls to a teletypist in an isolated cubicle. "Excuse me," Heatheria said when they got to the cubicle, but the teletype didn't even bat an eye. She looked at her name tag, which read Paula Sykes. "Miss Sykes?" Still no response from the worker. She just typed away. "Nice to have a supportive workforce, isn't it?" Luanne said, to no one in particular, with pointed sarcasm. Then she cleared her throat. "Excuse me!" she said louder. That did the trick, as Miss Sykes now looked up from her teletype. "Yes?" she prompted politely. "We're trying to find Endora Agnes." "Endora Agnes," Paula Sykes murmured, tapping her finger on her chin. "I think she's on the second floor." "Thank you," Luanne said. "Let's go, Heatheria." Just as they turned to leave, Paula called after them, "Hold on! Did you say Heatheria? As in Heatheria Winchester?" Luanne turned around. "How do you know that name?" Paula Sykes smiled. "I know only legend. Marissa Winchester was said to have had 3 children, but she only brought 2 here. 2 baby boys, I think. I was Dora's secretary at the time, and when Marissa told us of a child she left overseas," Heatheria averted her gaze, "I felt sorry for her and decided to take one of the boys under my wing and care for him." "Wait a minute," Heatheria murmured. "You adopted one of my brothers? Then you must have adopted—" She broke off when she felt warmth in her palm. She opened her hand and saw that the crest of Doloria there was starting to glow. "The boy I adopted was your brother?" Paula repeated. "So you're the same Heatheria that Marissa Winchester left overseas?" "Yes, I am," Heatheria said matter-of-factly. "I'm not proud of it, but yes, I am." Then Paula noticed the glow in Heatheria's palm. "What's that?" "Oh, that?" Luanne repeated. "It's nothing. It's just a little reminder that we need to stop at Miss Agnes's office." "Luanne," Heatheria whispered. "He's nearby. One of my brothers." Luanne nodded. Then she turned back to Miss Sykes. "If you don't mind telling us, what was the name of the boy you adopted?" "His name is—" Paula broke off when she turned and saw a young boy about Heatheria's age enter her cubicle. And that was when Heatheria felt the warmth in her palm grow stronger. As she caught a glimpse of the boy, she saw that his hand was glowing too. She stared at him intently. He had auburn hair, light brown eyes, and a slim build like a toothpick for his age. Around his neck he wore a gold heart charm similar to Heatheria's. "Ah, Remington!" Paula welcomed him. "I knew it," Heatheria thought to herself. "I was just about to mention you," Paula went on. "Please, join us. I want you to meet someone." Then she motioned to Heatheria. "This is Heatheria Winchester. She's Marissa Winchester's daughter. She's the daughter of Marissa Winchester." "Hello, Remington," Heatheria said politely. "And I'm Princess Luanne, her adoptive sister," Luanne introduced herself. "I'm also her legal guardian overseas in Melania." Remington stared at Luanne and then at Heatheria, and they could tell that he wasn't sure he should believe this story. The first thing he zeroed in on was what Paula told him, that Heatheria was Marissa's daughter. "You're Marissa's daughter?" Heatheria nodded. "But that would make you—" "My sister!" Remington breathed. "And I know that can't be, because Mother told me in the dreams I had about her that I was an only child. No brothers or sisters." "She did?" Luanne asked. "I guess she wanted all the children to think that," Heatheria said softly. "I just found out about you a day ago. I am your sister." Remington sank into a chair beside Heatheria. "I think you'd better give me the whole story." "Okay," Heatheria said. "But I need to warn you, it's kind of long." "I'm not going anywhere," Remington said. So as you can see, they met Remington, and they're about to explain the story behind the Chosen Three of Doloria and the Council of Five. Hopefully, Remington will be able to help them out. If you want more information, as I said before, just click on the links in the description below. I'll show you. You can't miss them if you just click. Let's continue. Sorry about this. I just need to find an excerpt that I can really entertain you with. This is an excerpt that basically leads to the Oracle of Doloria speaking to Marissa Winchester in a dream. She learns of the Council of Five's destiny to defeat the destined possessor of the Onyx of Darkness. Let's read. Marissa Winchester moaned and tossed in her sleep. A part of her brain tried to tell her to wake up, that she was having a dream, but her body wasn't listening, so she had to keep walking and walking. Where am I? She wondered. She had found herself in a dense fog. Voices called out from all over, screaming for help, crying out for her to save them. Why am I hearing so many cries for help all of a sudden? Marissa, a voice suddenly called out to her. Marissa turned with a start. Who's there? She demanded. Come out and show yourself! At first she saw nothing. Then a gray-haired man with the same color beard stepped out of the fog. He wore a white robe complete with cowl, and he moved with quick and spry steps for his age. Oracle, Marissa realized. What are you doing in my dream? I had to converse with you this way. The Oracle of Doloria told her. I need to warn you about something. The evil will soon awaken. The evil? Marissa repeated. You mean the Onyx of Darkness? Yes, Marissa. He replied. Your work is not yet finished. Your sister has been resurrected, and she has completed her task of feeding her familiar 100 souls. Oh dear, Marissa murmured. I already lost one person I loved to that stupid match Jewel. Now you're telling me that the Onyx has resurrected its next destined possessor? The Oracle nodded. And it will be up to you, to the Council of Five, to stop it. What can we do? Marissa asked. If the Onyx of Darkness is possessed by Karen, only the power of the Quintessa Viking can stop their quest, the Oracle told her. I've never heard of the Quintessa Viking, Marissa said. Many people think it's only a legend, but this warrior exists. But only by achieving true courage, faith, trust, love, and reliability can the Quintessa Viking come into being. And we will find this warrior, Marissa said. The warrior is not found, the Oracle explained. It is made. Only by contributing a part of each of your council can the Quintessa Viking exist. I don't understand, Marissa said, just as the Oracle faded away. Then all she heard was his voice. Come back to Doloria Mountain and my lair, the Oracle told her. I will explain everything when you come there. So they have a quest to bring in the Quintessa Viking into being, because as I read, only he or she can stop the Onyx of Darkness from achieving its goal. Well, I hope you enjoyed these excerpt readings from my latest installment. If you like what you see, please like, share, comment on the video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. This is So Says the Leader signing off. Peace out.